What up, y'all? It's your boy Dwitch back again with another video. And this video is another video of me documenting me building my business to $2 million for the year. In this video, we're going to talk about the changes I made yesterday and how it had an effect on the new store today, and talk about as well, talk about creatives, then do a rev check. So let's head to the gym while we talk about, everything we need to talk about. So essentially, if you guys, I'm not going to go too deep into it because I talked pretty in depth about it yesterday. But if you watch yesterday's video, I talked about how basically our whole funnel was fucked, right? We fucked up our funnel because we changed too many things and we didn't, we didn't stick to what the philosophy is and just simply doing what was working. We switched up too many things and that caused us to not have sales for like 4 days. So that's essentially a spark note of what happened to the second store. So essentially, basically, I fixed up the offer. And again, if you want to know exactly what I fixed up to make us, basically save the funnel, go back to yesterday's video. But essentially, blah, blah, we fixed the offer, we fixed everything up. And today, we have sales again on the new store. Well, one sale. We got like 4 a.m. and we're probably going to get a couple more sales. And that's just to show you guys, basically, the last 4 days we were running broad campaigns, 6 broad campaigns, creative test, and they got 0 sales. Today I switched it, put the winning interest again into the same creatives, and we changed the offer, and now we have a bunch of buyer intent on the same campaigns that we launched yesterday. So it's like, or last 2 days. So it's like, why did I even go ahead and fuck up what was working? I don't know, right? I told you I broke down my philosophy last video, but anyways, yeah, essentially today we have a sale. The funnel on Facebook ads looks amazing. It's day 1 of testing that, so it's amazing to see that we got 1 sale on 1 of the CBOs. All the other ones have, well, out of 6, like 4 of them have very, very good metrics. They likely will get sales. Again, I don't know, but they'll likely get sales, and it's just good to see that after making of them. And again, I'm not gonna talk too much about this, but it's just good to see that after making optimizations, we're seeing some positive outcomes, because there will be times as well where you make optimizations to things, which I did in the past, where you try to play with the offer and it does nothing, or it makes performance worse. In my case, it made performance worse because I wasn't even keeping what was working. I completely switched up the offer. But in some cases, you'll optimize maybe the pricing, you'll optimize the advertorial, or you're making advertorial, and sometimes it might not move the needle, Sometimes it might not get the results that you want. That's okay. That's a part of the game. You just have to keep testing and keep what's working. Don't, fuck off what was working. I don't know why I fucked up what was working again. I was being a bit retarded, but you want to just keep what's working and then A/B test, split test, see exactly what else can do even better. Our lower price point was good. We were able to get over like 60 sales, but our AOV was hella low. So I went ahead and fucked around with the offer. The first few offers we tried were very shit. For some reason, I wanted to stick with the main offer, being a bit greedy, and it fucked up our funnel, right? When I should have just been A/B testing with the lower offer, even if it was break even with the other. Why are they beefing? What the fuck? With the other one. Yeah, this thing's on some bullshit low key. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. You find something that works, you keep it, then you A/B test it alongside the new shit and see if it does better than your current winner. And that's the whole game of, what it looks like when you're A/B testing. A/B testing could be hard because sometimes you might not want to give it enough time to, test, because you're impatient and you don't want to drain money, but that's the part of the game. And if you start A/B testing early in the testing phase, which usually I don't even advise people to do that, I would recommend to just A/B test honestly when you're a bit more profitable. For me specifically, like I have a little bit more budget, so I don't really give a fuck. Honestly, if I think it's gonna work, I'm gonna just try shit out. Even if I'm down like 3K, I don't give a fuck. But that's besides the point. So yeah, again, refresh of what I just said. Well, the story, when you A/B test shit, make sure you keep what's working and then just test it alongside your winner. And how I go about doing this A/B test, essentially I'll have 1 CBO, 1 ad group will be the winning landing page with all the winning creatives, duplicate that with the new landing page or new offer, whatever it is, and just see how it performs over a 3 to 7 day window. Honestly, these days I do it a bit shorter window, Not really. Depends, honestly. It's usually around like 5 days for the most part. If it gets no sales during 3 days, I'll typically just turn the shit off. If it gets a reasonable amount of spend. And I also like to put an ad budget limit on there just so it gets spent as well. And yeah, that's kind of how I like to test that shit. Now, when it comes to creatives, because I want to talk about creatives briefly in this video, you guys have to really, like, how do I put this? When it comes to creatives, you really have to diversify your creatives. If you look at the biggest brands in the world that are pushing 7-8 figures, you're gonna realize that for the most part, like, they will have winning assets in their ads, like assets that they reuse over and over again. But for the most part, their hooks, the creators they're using, like, even if they're reusing the same concept, for the most part, sometimes it'll be a different creator. You know, sometimes they'll be using the same thing, same idea or concept, but different persona they're talking to, different angle of it being said. You know, there's a lot of different ways to kind of differentiate your content, or just changing your winning ad from a static to a video. Like, there's different things you can do. And in this last week or two, really this last week, I've been kind of seeing the reward of me kind of diversifying my content. And earlier on in my journey with this e-com stuff with the jewelry store, I was mainly just doing the same thing over and over again. One audience, one awareness level, one angle. And I was just trying to hone on that angle, just go hard on that angle. But it's like, when you keep doing that angle over and over again, how the fuck do you expect to get better results when you're just doing the same shit over and over again? You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to understand, okay, you find your winning creative, you're allowed to make iterations off it because you're gonna find other winners, but you can't make too many iterations. It's the 80-20 rule. 20% of your efforts when you're making ads should be iterations on what's currently working, and 80% of it should be you working on new creatives, right? New angles, new personas, you know, statics versus videos, whatever. Just different shit that you haven't tested before that looks completely different, because Facebook rewards you in the ad account for diversifying your content. And that's what I'm seeing actively right now in my ad account. And that's what I would recommend to a lot of you guys. Like, I don't have anything crazy to say. You probably know this. You probably heard this before. But sometimes with the e-com stuff, you have to hear that stuff multiple times for you to actually implement it. Sometimes you'll hear an idea, you get an idea in your head to do something, or you hear someone say it and you don't do it. But like, I'm a sole believer. I don't know where I heard this, but ever since I heard this, like, it's really facts. I feel like God doesn't put something in your mind if he doesn't think it's something that you should, you know, not be doing, if that makes sense. Like, there'll be so many times where there'll be great ideas that I have in my mind, and for whatever reason I don't do it. And then later down the line, sometimes I might even revisit the idea that I didn't do, and that sometimes was the best idea ever. And if I had not done it, I might have not got that level of scale that I got. Like, sometimes you just have to test shit out and just see if it works. Like, at the end of the day, like, again, this e-com stuff is a testing game. You have to get creative with your creatives. That's a crazy sentence, but yeah, you have to get creative with your creatives, bro. Like, everybody makes the same type of ads. Why don't you make your shit a bit more fun, a bit funnier, while still keeping the principles of, you know, having the right personas, having the right angles, talking to the right awareness level? Because, bro, all that shit really matters, and it adds up no matter what type of niche that you're in. Like, the biggest thing I'd also recommend to you guys, a lot of you guys, and this is something that took me a little too long to know about, is awareness levels. There's different stages of awareness. The top awareness stage is the unaware, which is basically top of funnel to bottom of funnel, is basically what that basically explains. But if you go in and analyze it, and I'm not gonna go in depth to this because I just pulled up to the gym, and realistically that should just be your own video for itself so I can explain it thoroughly. But essentially, you have to understand that some people that are looking to buy your product might have the problem, but that's the problem where, but they don't necessarily know, you know, what to do. They don't know if there's a solution. They just know that they have the problem. You have to make different creatives. Some people know that there's solutions out there, but they might not know which one's the best solution, or they might know different solutions in the market right now, and they don't know if yours is the best. So when you make a problem aware ad, you know, some people have seen your ad specifically, and they just don't want to buy because it's just kind of too expensive. So you might have to fuck around and make a most aware ad or a retargeting ad, whatever you want to call it. So this e-com stuff, like, is really just about the creatives. Like you guys know, creative is very important. Obviously, product, all that other stuff, offers, everything just works intertwined with each other. But when it comes to this marketing stuff, assuming everything is decently done, you got to make sure your creatives are in line. You got to make sure that you're understanding your target audience well, and just take some time to do research about it and understand your audience as much as you can, bro. ChatGPT exists. Take your customer, either do the deep. To be honest, I can't talk about this. I need to do this in another video, but essentially just do research. Let me know if you want me to video about this. I can probably make it for you guys, but essentially do research on your persona and just understand who exactly your consumer is, understand all the different avatars that you could be specifically talking to, and just go in depth into that and just make a list of every single avatar persona that you can talk to. Like, have a list of like 5 of them and just rotate them every single day or anytime you make creatives. Find the ones that work, hone down on that, find different angles, test different awareness levels into that specific winning angle. And as you can see, like, if you find one winning angle and you widen it, pause. Pause. You widen it, pause, and you go into the different awareness levels. That's like 5 different, how many awareness levels there is. That's a bunch of other angles that you're really tapping into while having that one winning angle. Like, if you take your winning ad and just putting in a static, that's a whole different ad. Like, there's different ways you can win with this shit. You just have to use your brain and be creative. Don't get into the trap of just making the same creatives as your competitors or just what everybody else in the game is doing, because that's how you fucking lose. Like, you're gonna see a bunch of stuff when you're watching videos, but understand, take it with a grain of salt. Do your own experimentations and try different shit out. Try different shit out with this creative stuff, bro. I promise you, you're gonna have fun with it. It becomes fun when you start implementing different things. You're like, damn, how can I make this ad work? Blah, blah, blah. But that's all I got for you guys for this portion of today's video. I gotta run some errands in a bit, so that's why I'm kind of like trying to speed around this video a bit. But let me do a quick, what the fuck? A little quick rev check for you. Fuck. Little quick rev check for y'all boys before I head out. Again, sorry for a shorter video. Again, your boys got some errands to do in a little bit, so I gotta speed this shit up. But again, moral of the story, guys, if you're split testing again, if you do it correctly, when you're doing creative research, actually lock in, do the proper research. I don't know why I even said that part, but anyways, today we're at, like, what is that actually? Yeah, almost at $400, nothing crazy. We're a bit lower than yesterday, so we might hit like 1.3 some shit if it doesn't pick up. But yesterday we hit 1.4. Decent day. Like, as you can see, we're scaling up a bit. There is some Mother's Day build up getting built right now, so that's why our conversion rate's a bit higher and shit like that. But nonetheless, we're slowly scaling up a little bit. Again, we're just stacking these different CBOs and just trying to see, how far we can scale this shit. The second store right now it's one sale, nothing too crazy, but big win because, again, the last couple of days we got no sales. So confident that, let me not say I'm confident, but I think we'll probably be able to see some great scale soon on that store if, again, everything works with the new offer, new creators and all that stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Appreciate you guys again for watching this video. About to head to the gym, get a pump in, do some errands, and then get some work in. So again, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next video, and peace.